pretty popular right now. So they came out with their schedule of next year, and they kind of named off all the teams, U.S. teams, that they were going to publicize nationally, okay? So you got your Rangers, they're going to be on 15 national games. Pittsburgh 15, St. Louis, Tampa Bay 14, the Capitals. Your defending Stanley Cup champions, Colorado, also 14. Even the Columbus Jackets, John and the boys are going to get 10 games, okay? All right. But when you look at the Canadian teams that are going to be televised on national television with the U.S. syndicate, Toronto gets 11, Montreal 0, Calgary 4, Edmonton 14, Vancouver 2, Winnipeg 1, and Ottawa 1. Now, there's been a little bit of a, people are a little upset about it. They're like, what's going on? Why? I want to stop you all from getting too ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
What did I just say? This is for the U.S. Do you think a guy that's kind of trying to get into hockey, that's sitting over in, I don't know, let's say he's in Las Vegas, do you think he actually cares what Vancouver and Ottawa are doing this week?
Right.
The answer is no. And you want to... You got to focus on him. So I don't understand what the big hoopla is with everyone in Canada getting mad going, I can't believe. Because guess what? A lot of our Canadian talent are on these American teams anyway. So what are we all fighting about?
Mitch, I got to say I was a little surprised that you said Montreal got 0. I was a little surprised with that because I would just assume that in areas like, let's say, if it was on Montreal, Boston, on an original 6 type deal, maybe that might have some weighting. But you know what? This is very humbling. Canadian fan, I've said it for a while. So has Mitch. Listen, it is a Canadian game, but it is an American sport. Yes. I hate to say it, you guys. And people, you can say whatever you want. And Dimitri, you're completely offside. Pun intended, by the way.
It was nice.
That was a well good one.
I like what you
did you like how I just kind of went there?
Yeah. It
was, and it just came.
Yeah.
This was not a preloaded pun, Mitch.
You just slide it right in there.
There you go.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Anyways, to get back on track.
Yeah.
The thing is this is very humbling because as Canadians, and justifiably so, we look at hockey and our teams up here a little bit differently. Of course, the Montreals mean more. Like, I get when TSN, for example, plays very heavy Toronto-Montreal. I get it. And even when those two teams come to Calgary, they are the highest selling tickets for season ticket holders or anyone who wants to get rid of tickets.
Right.
Okay, so for us, yes. But Canada hockey fan, honey, sugar, baby, humble yourselves. If this is just not an indication of actually what things mean in the world of hockey, I don't know what is. Because you're right. Nobody in Dallas could care about Montreal. You want to know what they care about? Who are the hottest teams? Where's Connor McDavid playing? Toronto, we know because they have the Raptors and we actually get that city and they have some players. Outside of that, sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Winnipeg, what? You're Minnesota's younger cousin. And that's not
so
that's not very sexy.
So is Portland.
As
I found out a couple last week, was it?
The Minnesota of the East.
With that being said, it's like why? Like, how mad do we get when the Raptors won the championship a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
They should have been showcased a little bit more, especially after proving, hey, we won the championship. They weren't. So we can get mad about it, but the reality is, guys, USA, when it comes to sports, both hockey, NBA, MLB, doesn't matter. This is what happens. When the Blue Jays won Major League, the World Series twice in a row, same thing. We didn't get the love up here in Canada. They were like, those are asterisks. The Toronto Blue Jays wins are kind of like, in baseball eyes, same as Barry Bonds. They're like, it doesn't really count.
Mitch, it was 2 years in a row. It was COVID for baseball.
It was for them.
When the Blue Jays won, they're like, man, that pandemic really rocked it. The Canadian teams were winning the pennant. It's crazy. And the World Series. I don't know what to tell you.
And look what happened. They even got rid of the Montreal team. Be like, what, 3 in a row? No, get them out of here. Get out. Get out of here.
What is an expo anyways? What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, what a stupid name.
But you know what? Dome they created?
I believe so. I believe it
so
was...
the Montreal Domes? Yeah. Is that what it is? I didn't get it. What is
the Montreal Domers, brought to you by Trojan. Listen. The fact.
Oh no! It's happening again.
No! Listen, the fact of the matter is this: Canadian hockey fan, I'm talking to you. I'm looking in your eyes. You want all Canada hockey? Then guess what? Start loving the CFL because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, but how about this? Going back to what you just said, you want all Canadian hockey? We had it a couple of years ago with COVID.
Boo.
Yeah, exactly.
The
At
Canadians
first, we were all excited
like
about it. We're like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
After the 10th time that you play the same team, you're like, okay, I'm done with this. I can't do it.
Totally.
Sorry. I can only watch it.
Of course, vacationing with my in-laws is going to be great. What's wrong with you? I'm never doing this again.
Exactly.
You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I'll be locked in.